Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. This is going to be my top 10 influential book tag. I was tagged by MagicOfBooks, and this original tag was started by ReadSusieRead. So with this tag, I'm going to break the rules a little bit. Stacie showed you hers right here, like in the list, and I'm going to show you them individually. This book got me reading when I was very young, and I really liked the story and how C.S. Lewis really pulled us into his world that he created, and I still like it today. I really haven't had a chance to read it yet lately, and I want to get to it, but of course it's really big. And we've all read the first story, I guess. It's been a long time since I read this, so I will find a time to read it, and I can't wait to actually get to it because I have a lot of books that I want to read first, and this one just happens to be really big. So, this is my first one. This, I remember, is probably the oldest book that I can think of that got me reading. So this one really influenced my reading. So this one is Chronicles of Narnia, the bind-up of all the books. So there's that one. Alright, so my next book happens to be written by one of my favorite authors of all time, and that is Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire, the first book in the Vampire Chronicles series. And I love this book, I can't even tell you. This book really got me into reading about vampires and reading into other worlds that we don't normally live in, and worlds that we want to live in. Some of us don't, some of us do, but I really could not put this down. This is probably one of the best books ever written, and one of the books that you have to read before you die. It's just one of those great books. And as soon as I finished this book, I actually watched the movie, and I can't get enough of it. In October, Anne Rice is going to put out the Vampire Lestat's new book, which will be called Prince Lestat, and I can't wait to get my hands on that, so I'm just waiting for it to come out. I am going to continue with the series very soon, so I've read Interview with the Vampire, I've read The Vampire Lestat, The Queen of the Dam. I'm going to get to The Tale of a Body Thief, come here very soon, and I can't wait, so there's my second one. So this is the book that got me back into reading, and that is Trust Me, I'm Dr. Ozzy. I actually purchased this when I was at the Barnes & Noble here in my city, and I got to shake his hand, and I will never forget that, guys. I have no words. It was probably one of the best moments of my life, and I will show you. He actually signed this book right here. If I can show you right there. So I'm pretty happy about that. And this is one of the funniest books you'll ever read, and this is the funniest book I've ever read. So if you haven't picked it up and you're not really into Ozzy, or you are, or you're just a rock or metal fan, you need to pick this up. This will have you laughing for a good couple hours. If you can read it in an hour. I can't remember how long this book is, but it's pretty short, as you can see right there. So, yeah, this is the book that got me back into reading, and I'm so happy that I got it, because I met the guy, and how cool is that, and why am I going off the screen? So, yeah, Ozzy happens to be one of my favorite artists of all time. Haven't seen him in concert, but I got to meet the guy and shake his hand, so. So with this next book, I was reading A Clash of Kings at the same time. I don't know what I was doing reading that book and this book at the same time, and I will never do that again. I really want to get into a book and stay in that world, because this book was amazing. And it is the Heroin Diaries by Nikki Sixx. This is all his diaries that he put together in book form, I guess, to just kind of show the world what he went through, and that he died once and he came back because a fan knew that this guy was a rock star and she knew who he was, and there was no way that he was gonna die. So she brought him back to life, I think with, I don't know if it was morphine or what, don't quote me on that. This is a really good book, I can tell you that. There's some funny moments and then there's some weird moments, and this is the first book. I have another book to show you where it is Nikki Sixx and he talks about other things, but this book is amazing. If you're a fan of the old like 80s kind of rock or classic metal, you'll be into this and you'll see the crazy things that they did a long time ago. So pick it up. I really actually want to get the dirt. This one kind of brings you into it, but yeah, I'm sure the dirt is something far different because I know it is. And yeah, so here's the book I was talking about. This is the second book from Nikki Sixx and it has a long title. This Is Gonna Hurt: Music, Photography, and Life Through the Distorted Lens of Nikki Sixx. So I really enjoyed this book. It really shows what an artist he is, and he does have his own radio show on the iHeartRadio. If you want to look that up, The Sixth Sense. I occasionally do listen to it, and yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed this book. There's a lot of pictures in it and they're really weird. He, in his mind, takes these pictures to show that ugly things can be pretty to him, or he just likes the way they look. But yeah, I need to put this book down because it's really heavy now. So I really encourage any rock fan or metal fan to read this book. So there's that one. So as far as I can remember, biographies were the books that always got me into reading. And I really loved reading about famous people, about rock stars, anybody kind of like that. And I've already shown you books about Nikki Sixx. I actually have one on my shelf that I showed you in my book haul about Tommy Lee. I still have to read that one, so I'll let you know what I think about that book. And this next one happens to be Craig Ferguson. This is a comedian. I have been watching him for several years on The Late Late Show that comes out after David Letterman on CBS. And this book was really good. Craig Ferguson actually started on The Drew Carey Show, and I never really watched him back then, but when he came out and presented himself as the person he is slapstick comedy, and not a lot of people get it, but I really can see where he's going, and he does make me laugh. He's just one of my favorite comedians of all time. So yeah, this one is really good. I can't tell you anything more. I don't want to ruin it, but if you really like comedy and you're into Craig Ferguson, pick this one up. So this next book happens to be one of the most influential books here on YouTube, or Booktube. And that is the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, and that is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This book I wouldn't normally read because of the cover. I didn't want to get it because of the cover, but I ended up liking it. And I've already seen the movie, and I've already read City of Ashes, and I've already read City of Glass, and that's where I stopped because I wanted to read something else, and I didn't want to keep going because I wanted to take a break because the series is that good. I want to pace myself because I just want to read other books first, and then I'll get back into it because I just don't want to finish it, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's that one, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. And yeah, I can't say anything more, but I really enjoyed this book. So history happens to be one of my favorite topics to read about. And this character comes from history, and his name is Merlin. Merlin just happens to be one of those characters that we can't get enough of. We see him in the movies, we see him in the books. This book I happened to find at Barnes & Noble and grabbed it because Merlin is one of my favorite historical figures of all time. And Merlin gets me reading. I want to know everything about Merlin. I've actually read this book before and really liked it, so I want to read it again to show all the things that I enjoyed about this book. This book really got me going. I wanted to know everything there was about Merlin. There's still books coming out about him. There's movies still being made. And I like everything Arthurian history, Merlin history, anything about magic or anything in that genre or topic. So with that being said, Merlin is very influential to read about. He gets me reading, so that's why I picked it. So this next book happens to be one of the most influential books people are reading right now and are loving it. And it is a new show that people are crazy about, like me. If you've watched my channel, you know Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones started a whole new world that opened a lot of people's minds. And actually these books were already written a long time ago. They were just rewritten so they could be part of this century, I guess, or however you want to put it. People are now rediscovering what these books brought to reading, and they are really great. I've read this one, I've read A Clash of Kings, and I read A Storm of Swords, so I'll be reading the next book, A Feast for Crows, very soon, and I can't wait to get to it because I want to finish it so bad because I want to get to book 5. And book 5, I hear, is where it's at. So I don't know if it can be better than book 3. Hopefully, I don't know. Let's see what happens. So yeah, this one is really influential to me. I can't even tell you how much I love Game of Thrones. If I see a shirt of Game of Thrones, I'll get it. That blanket that I recently showed in one of my book haul videos, my new one, in the back, that was Game of Thrones. So I have the series, anything Game of Thrones I'll buy, so just so you know. So yeah, Game of Thrones is very influential to me. I'm glad I picked it up not knowing what it was a long time ago, and yeah, and I really enjoy it now. So there's that one. Let's get to one more. So here's the last book in this video, and I am very happy to own this book, and this is Under the Dome by Stephen King. I've already read this one. 1,074 pages. Yes, it's huge. I've already read it and I love it. They are actually turning this one into a TV show on CBS, so if you want to watch it, season 2 is on now. They started it last year. I really loved it. I picked up the TV show already of season 1, and I'm watching season 2. So this book was very influential to me. It showed me what reading really can be, and you can finish a book of this size. Yes, you can. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye. I don't know what more I can say about this book. Just read it already. Come on. It's very good. It says, read me, read me, read me, read me, read me, please read me. Okay.